everybody, welcome back to the channel. How are you doing? So for today's video we are doing a timeline of every A reveal on the show. We're not just talking about the three, the A's, the big three. I've seen the big three. We're not just talking about them. We're also talking about like the A team and the kind of smaller, more minor reveals. We're just going to talk through them, tell you when they kind of became a part of the A team, the motives, the reasoning, things like that. I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of people in this who are quite irrelevant and I don't know why they wanted to be so involved. But don't worry, we'll come to them. Don't worry, because some of these people need to get jobs. Do you not have a hobby that you need to be doing? Like, first on the timeline, the famous, right? She is the best A on the show. The best character. I'm not joking. Mona. So obviously, Mona was the first and original A. First A. Straight in there. Mona was my favourite A. Because I just love Mona's character. I think she's so fun and a bit of an icon. If we were to rate her on the Slay meter, we've got a 9.9 magnitude motherquake. Mona was A from season 1 to season 2, end of season 2. But she kind of did some stuff before like the show, like before the show was set. What am I trying to say? The year before Alison went missing, she was kind of doing some things then as well, but she didn't fully take on the new kind of A alias properly until about season 1. Mona was officially revealed as A in the season 2 finale called Unmasked, and I love her reveal because I kind of like reveals where they all find out together. So this one they didn't find out together, so I thought I wouldn't like it. And I remember at the time I had an issue because they didn't really find out all together. But her reveal worked really, really well. And the tension building up to it. And I think she's such an incredible actress that she played this off so well. I love Mona. I love everything about her. Mona, in contrast to the next big A reveal, which is not until later on. Trust me, we've got a long way to go, everyone. Mona took a more kind of subtle approach to being A. And most of it was just kind of texts, but she would also use secrets, and not just the liar's secrets, the family secrets too, which is where I really enjoyed it because, for example, Byron was having an affair, and he made Arya lie about it, but then A actually revealed the affair to Ella. So I think things like that were really cool and really kind of fascinating to me, because along with that, Mona's motive was also kind of the most believable, I guess, or kind of held more weight compared to the other A's, because her motive was obviously she was bullied a lot by Alison and the girls prior to Alison's disappearance. So her motive held weight because she actually had a full-on grudge with the liars specifically. I also like the character switch because during the 2 seasons where we don't know she's A, she's kind of portrayed as this like dumb kind of fashionista, like typical high school popular girl. But then once Mona gets revealed as A, she then obviously is like one of the most smartest people on the show. Arguably, it's not that difficult. Do you know what I mean? I like her. She's kind of always one step ahead. Do you know what I mean? And I like the battle that she has with the next A about, because Mona wants to have the game so bad that once she loses the game, it's actually really hard for her to come to terms with that, because she always wants to be in control. And I just think that is so, oh, I love it. Marlene King, you've charmed me. Yeah, obviously I've put season 1 to 2 up here, and she doesn't become A again, but she does keep up kind of the cunning ways, and she does try to get involved again with the game and working with A type of thing. So it does say season 1 and 2, but you could argue that she does carry on a bit longer, but she's not really A. But this is just kind of when it's revealed, not necessarily when these people were it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Mona is my absolute favorite queen, icon, living legend. Towards the end, season 5, she tries to work with A again, but then she ends up kind of getting killed. Not really, but whatever. And then season 7, she kidnaps Spencer. And then that is the whole Alex Drake reveal a bit later on, which is like a direct parallel to when Mona was revealed as A, and she knocked Spencer out then as well. I really like in Mona's final appearance on Pretty Little Liars, she is in the spin-off, but I don't like watching spin-offs. I've watched like a few episodes of Original Sin maybe, but I've never watched The Perfectionists. Spin-offs don't intrigue me, you know, but Mona was in that, if you're interested in watching a bit more of Mona. In Mona's last scene of Pretty Little Liars, it kind of alludes to the fact that Mona is still continuing the game, because she ends up kidnapping Alex Drake and Mary Drake, and is like holding them captive in her own little like tea party dollhouse. And I love that so much, because she's always been involved in the game, and I don't think the game would be the same without her. Okay, next on the list we have Toby. So Toby was the second A to be revealed. He's not actually A, he's just part of like the A team. But as you can see, his time as A was not very long. It lasted approximately 2 episodes. Toby said that he wanted to join the A team to protect Spencer. I guess he thought if he had kind of inside access that he would kind of know if they were planning on targeting Spencer and how to keep her safe, but it actually kind of does the opposite, as you'll see in a second. Toby's time as A was kind of harmless, really. He didn't really do much. He slashed Paige's tires, which resulted in Paige and Emily kind of being stranded, and he was more just kind of a hooded figure that the girls see in the distance and they get scared, and like that's kind of it. He didn't really do much on the A team, but ultimately it's kind of the fallout of him being revealed as working on the A team. In season 3, episode 12, which is titled The Lady Killer, this is when Toby gets revealed as A, and the ultimate reveal is him and Mona are kind of walking into Radley. They're back to the cameras, so we know Mona, but we don't know who this black hooded figure is. So then the figure turns around and it is Toby, and Mona tells Toby that they'll see each other again soon, and then Toby runs off. Ultimately, Toby's time as A was kind of nothing. But it also leads into Spencer. Spencer then became part of the A team. Spencer obviously finds out that Toby was involved in the A team, and Toby actually ends up dying. He doesn't actually die, but they kind of fake his death with like a fake body type of thing, and Spencer kind of goes off the rails, and she goes into Radley. And after this, she joins the A team to see if Toby is actually dead or not. Spencer also wanted to see if Mona was A again, because she obviously had a distrust in Mona, and she also wanted to see who Redcoat was. Now, no offense to A, okay, but like, why would you take in Spencer as part of the A team? And then, because obviously it gets revealed that she's like a double agent and she's just doing it to like benefit herself and get information. I feel like that's pretty obvious. A's been tormenting Spencer for 3 seasons now, and you're willingly like, yeah, come join the team. No, girl. Like, of course she's going to be a double agent. What did you expect? Were we shocked? Do you know what I mean? Like, clap if you care. In the episode titled A Dangerous Game, Spencer finds out that Toby is alive, and they meet in like a diner, both with black hoods on, thinking of a plan to trap Redcoat. Spencer then tells the rest of the liars about her plan and that she's been kind of working with A for, I mean, she's literally on the A team for how many episodes? 2. So it's not very long lived, as Taylor Swift once said. And she sees a plane land and she sees Redcoat. And obviously Redcoat is dressed like Allison. So she assumes it's Allison. And she's like, Allison? I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't think that was her. And I think it was actually Sarah Harvey. But do you know what? I'm not going to rain on your parade. Do you know what? You know, have your fun. I actually kind of liked the Eve. She wasn't evil because obviously she was a double agent, duh. But I mean, like, the concept of Spencer being evil. I kind of like that. Like, because I would die on a hill thinking Arya should have been A. So I kind of like the liars turning into that, you know, you kind of become your own worst enemy type of thing. That doesn't mean I wanted Alex Drake, but that's another situation. Yeah, these two want a massive part in the A team. I think it was more for plot, like, oh my god, let's shock the audience. Let's flabbergast them. Okay, the next person, Lucas. Lucas was the 4th A to kind of... Well, he wasn't A. He was on the A team, but like same thing. Do you know what I mean? In all seriousness, my opinion on Lucas, I don't hate him, but he's one of the characters who are like, why are you... Do you not have some hobbies? A Saturday job? Let's think of some things to do. However, Lucas only kind of joined the A team because Mona was blackmailing him. It wasn't like a willing thing that he did willingly. So Lucas's time on the A team was also not that deep. So he was the A that gave Emily that massage. And he also drugged Emily the night that Allison was like dug up from her grave. However, his blackmailing timeline doesn't make sense, and I don't know whether that's because he lied or whether it's just like the timeline on Pretty Little Lies, because it's quite difficult to know. But he said that he had been blackmailed at the masquerade ball to be part of the A team. But the massage that Emily got was before this. So I don't have the answers. I'm so sorry. Then Lucas's time kind of comes up after Mona's reveal, really. But in season 5, he actually comes back for a bit and becomes kind of Mona's chief helper in that kind of A team that went on with like Paige and stuff. But also that was very short-lived. Like, nothing really came of that. So Melissa Hastings was the 5th member of kind of the A team to be revealed. Melissa was the Black Swan at the masquerade ball, but she was also one of the Queen of Hearts on the Halloween train. And on the Halloween train, there was actually 2 Queen of Hearts, and we'll get onto the other one in a little bit. But Melissa was one of them. And Melissa was kind of part of the A team for about a season. But I, once again, kind of with Lucas, I don't think it was ever really like serious, like properly. And I don't think Melissa kind of knew actually about like the A game properly and what it was and who was like employing her, I guess. So I don't think Melissa's intentions were malicious in joining the A team, but yeah, nonetheless, she was still kind of involved in it. Melissa was kind of a suspect for the liars for a while. Even like some of my friends in real life who watched the show as we were watching it, a lot of them predicted Melissa to be the final A. But I personally never saw it with Melissa, because Melissa's a lot of the time, I know Mona was during Mona's time as A, but Melissa seemed very out of it and not really properly trying to get involved, and quite clueless a lot of the time. But I don't think I would have had an issue with her being A, like actual A at all. But personally, it's just something that I never really saw. So Melissa was blackmailed into joining the A team, kind of like how Lucas was blackmailed. And so Melissa was pregnant, but she had actually miscarried. But Melissa lied about when she lost the baby, and A at this time, so Mona found out about this and kind of blackmailed her with this information and told her that she needed to dress up as the Black Swan. So Melissa gets revealed to be part of the A team in the episode titled FaceTime, where Spencer and Arya spy on her. Spencer confronts Melissa, and Melissa ends up saying that the person who strangled Spencer on the Halloween train and tried to push Arya off the Halloween train was actually Wilden and not Melissa, because Melissa and Wilden were kind of dressed as the same kind of thing. And Melissa said that she had only joined the A team because she wanted to protect Spencer. And that's kind of it for Melissa's reign as A. Once again, not really too much involvement. I don't really think she knew what she was getting herself into. The next reveal, this was set up to be kind of like a major A reveal, but in the end I don't think it was. I don't know, this reveal felt very weird to me and kind of out of the blue. Yeah, this was a weird reveal for me. But this is Shauna. Shauna was the 6th A to be revealed, and she partook in this from season 3 to season 5. We see her in season 2 in the episode titled Unmasked, where she meets up with Jenna and they discuss a plan. Obviously we aren't told the plan, but we see them discussing it. And Shauna actually ends up falling in love with Jenna, and so Shauna's whole motive was getting back at the girls for everything that they've done to Jenna. In season 3, Shauna actually sets fire to the lodge thing where the girls are pulled out by who they think is Allison. However, I think really they tell us that 2 people set fire to it. I think Shauna was the actual one who did it, but yeah. Anyway, I digress. In season 4, in the episode titled A is for Answers, Shauna follows the girls to New York and she sets out a plan to kill them. She tries to shoot them, but Ezra actually gets in the way and Ezra ends up being the one that's shot. But Ezra sees who this A is and ends up telling the girls that it's Shauna. So in season 5, Shauna turns up to a theatre where the girls are hiding Allison and tries to kill them again. But she ends up actually dying instead. So Shauna's involvement was more than the others, but not too much. And I don't know if it was like an official A team member and it seemed very individual. Shauna seemed individual to her motive, but still part of the actual A team. But I think rather than tormenting the girls like A did, I think it was straight up like, look, no messing around. Give me revenge. Do you know what I mean? I have to move for this one. But we've got Wilden, the freak, the jobless Wilden. Wilden, I'm going to need you to get some hobbies. I'm going to need you to get a proper job because you've got way too much time on your hands, my love. What on earth is this man playing at? Wilden for me is one of those characters, like he's always there, like what is your relevance? Because he doesn't really end up, it's weird because he's a big character for the first like 3 seasons and then he has like girl, go find a new job. Please leave me alone. I am getting sick of you. Do you know what I mean? Wilden was revealed to be this one of the Queen of Hearts on the Halloween train and was the one who tried to throw Arya off the train, you know. He was revealed to be helping Cece before his death in season 3. Don't really know how or why. Girl, if this man doesn't stop annoying me, I jail for all of them. If I had my way, every man on this show would just automatically start in jail and he'd have to prove his way out of it. So then Melissa tells us that Wilden was actually the one that started the fire at the lodge. So whether it was Shauna or Wilden, maybe it was both. Maybe they both had the same idea. Whatever. Wilden was also the one who tried to strangle Spencer as well on the Halloween train. And he was given orders to kill Arya and Spencer on that train. But Garrett ended up getting in his way and he ended up killing Garrett as well. That's kind of it for Wilden, really. He's like Noel Khan. Like, just always there, but also just really relevant, really annoying, needs to go find something to do with his life. But, you know, he ends up dead. So I don't want to say it's karma, but, you know, I mean, Taylor Swift once said it, so you can take her word for it. Do you know what I mean? Then, obviously, we have Cece. Cece was the second kind of big major A, and Cece was this A from season 3 to season 6. So Cece originally took over the game from Mona. When Mona went to Radley after her reveal in season 2, Cece was really intrigued by the stories that Mona would tell about her time as A, and Cece was that intrigued that she decided that she also wanted a part in this. Cece's A was a lot more darker than Mona's and might be the darkest on the show, because this A was like proper. This A meant business. This A went to work. Like, this A did a 9 to 5. Some of her most notable work is the dollhouse. The dollhouse is like one of my favorite things on the show, and I kind of wish they kept it for a bit longer, because I think they had such a good thing with the dollhouse. But the dollhouse, if you obviously don't know, was she made a real life dollhouse of all the liars' like rooms, and kind of held them in there and held them captive and tortured them. So when I say it's my favorite, maybe that's a bit morbid, but the actual concept was really, really cool. I did a much deeper delve into Mona, Cece and Alex's A's if you would like to see that down below. So I'm not going to cover everything about Cece's A because we would literally be here forever, guys. Like, it's actually a lot. Obviously, Cece used to be Charles' De Laurentiis. Charles was kind of a son that Kenneth and Jessica kind of not gave up. Kenneth more gave him up, and Jessica continued to love Charles through his transition into Cece. Cece obviously psychologically was very, very messed up from her very tough childhood, as you would be if you went through what she went through. It was horrible. But Cece's motive is where I hold a grudge with this A, because her original motive was that the girls said that they felt free now that Allison was dead because of everything that Allison had put the girls through. And Cece overheard this and wanted revenge for it. But I don't think that really holds up that well as a motive, especially when Allison comes back. Cece continues the game. So yeah, the motive is very lackluster for me, in all honesty. But I digress on that matter. I think Cece's motive really was just because she liked the game so much from what she heard about Mona, and she wanted to be in control. And obviously, like I said, her brain must have been so messed up from everything. So I think that was more her motive rather than actually, a plot against the girls. I think it was more because of her evilness, I guess, from everything that's happened in her life type of thing. So Cece was also Redcoat as well, and there's literally a scene where they reveal that she's A without us knowing because she's wearing a black hood under her red coat, which I only found out like once I had finished the show, obviously. Cece's reveal was at my favorite out of the actual reveals, like how they did it, because I liked that the girls found out kind of all together. Even Mona was involved, which was really, really cool, because obviously Cece took the game from Mona. But the actual reveal, I really, really liked it. And my thing with the third A, which we'll get on to, is we never actually saw them in the black hood, and that really destroyed the concept for me, because A has always been this figure in a black hood, and Cece was obviously that reveal of a hooded figure that turned around and you're like, oh my god, it's Cece. But at the time I remember being a lot more harsh on Cece's reveal in terms of it obviously not making sense. But the more I've kind of grown up with it and the more I've watched it again, I actually don't mind Cece's A. I think it actually makes sense. Not the reveal. The reveal doesn't make sense. There's plenty of plot holes in the actual reveal. But her being A does make sense. And yeah, I like it. The next one is another character who also needs to go and find a job and get some hobbies and stay away from me. Sarah Harvey is the next A-team member to be revealed. I have my grievances with Sarah Harvey. Done a video on her if you want to check it out. Because I'm not gonna get too into it because I'm gonna wind myself up. Sarah Harvey was revealed to be kind of Cece's second-hand man type of thing, and Sarah Harvey was actually the Black Widow, Redcoat, and I think that's it. But Sarah Harvey, girl, what is your relevance? So Sarah Harvey apparently started working for Cece during season 3 of the show, and then obviously continued it. And I think with Sarah Harvey it was a bit like Stockholm syndrome, because we're told that Cece took her, and I think Sarah maybe not fallen in love type of thing, but maybe fallen in love with, you know, more accepting towards like, okay, let me help her, let me be part of this, do you know what I mean? But yeah, Sarah Harvey got revealed in the same episode as Cece, and Emily ends up punching her, and then she's like strapping a bomb inside Radley or something, and the girls are trying to stop her, and I think she ends up electrocuting herself with the bomb afterwards, and her hands end up fried because she comes back in season 7, and like there's this whole thing about her wearing gloves and stuff like that. But anyway, Sarah's character to me was one of the most awful characters on the show. I really disliked Sarah, not even like because of the person that she was, but I mean her taking a shower every 5 minutes on the show was very annoying, don't get me wrong.
I'm gonna take a shower.
Sarah Harvey was just kind of a character that was always like there and like involved and like a big name, but like it kind of came down to nothing, and nothing really made sense with her as well. Like the timeline with her doesn't make sense, because we're told she gets taken the same time that Alison went missing, but then she doesn't start working with Cece until season 3. So it's like, girl, when did this girl get taken? Do you know what I mean? Sarah Harvey was also a decoy the night of the fire at the lodge, because Cece wanted to see if Alison was alive and to lure Alison in, and she knew that Alison would help to protect her friend. So Sarah kind of dressed up kind of as Redcoat and as Alison, and used her to kind of lure her in to find out if Alison was alive or not. And then obviously Sarah Harvey was Black Widow during Wilden's funeral, and after Redcoat she kind of continues to use this as like her alias, I guess, type of thing. But Sarah literally has no motive, and that is my gripe with her character, because I mean I get the whole kind of Stockholm syndrome thing, but like she actually has zero motive to try and get back at the girls. So oh my god, now we have my favorite irrelevant character on the show. Are you ready, everybody? Noel Khan. Once again, I've done a video on Noel Khan if you want to check that out. Oh my gosh. Noel Khan is another irrelevant character. Frustrating again because he's literally involved in like some of the major plot points on the show. But like, what? Why are you getting involved? Like, hello? Noel was always kind of set up to be a suspect when it comes to being A. So the girls suspected him for a while and he was kind of set up to be, you know, is he A or whatever. Nothing really prolonged until about season 4. This has nothing really to do with A, but he helped Alison during the time that Alison was missing or like away. That has nothing to do with A, but I just wanted to insert it because he's literally in the major plot points without being a major character. It's really weird. But anyway, during the season 5 time jump, it was revealed that Noel Khan actually helped Cece De Laurentiis in the dollhouse. Okay. Why he would want to do this, I don't know. Because he didn't really get along with the girls, but I don't think there was any heavy motive for him to help basically build a torture device for the girls and help them be tortured. However, in season 7 episode 10, Jenna and Noel end up luring the girls to like a blind school house thing because he wants to kill them. Why? I would say we'll find out after the break, but girl, there's no break and we will not find out. Anyway, I guess he just wants revenge for what they did to Jenna because I guess him and Jenna were in love. Whatever. Anyway, but Noel ends up dying and guys, I hate to laugh, but he got killed in the most funny way. It's actually not that funny at the end of the day, guys. It's actually quite serious, but I actually found it really funny. He gets his head by an axe that fell to the floor that Emily was carrying. So yeah. Moving on. This is my favorite. It's actually not my favorite. I am an avid, die-hard girly in the Arya should have been a theory. If the Arya should have been a theory has 0 fans, I'm dead. Call the police. I've gone missing. So this time, even though it was literally like a few episodes, wow, what a time. What a time for the Arya is a stans. What a time. Arya joined the A-Team in the episode titled Power Play, and she was blackmailed into joining this team because Arya had written a file about Ezra when she was a teenager and about the relationship that they had and that how he kind of groomed her and manipulated her, and she didn't want that getting out because she apparently didn't mean any of it, but like, girl, you kind of did. So A blackmailed her with that. Now I have my gripe with this because the whole time we're told about this file and it's like, oh my god, what could be on this file? And there were so many theories and I was like, oh my god, what if she's like Bethany Young and this file tells us it? What if she went to Radley? And that's how like Eddie Lamp recognized her and that's what's in the file. But girl, no. It was a total letdown. Hello. Because once again, Ezra was protected. Yay! So Arya was blackmailed into trashing Emily and Alison's nursery for their twins, and she was also made to release a audio recording of Peter Hastings and Jessica De Laurentiis talking about Mary Drake's kind of how they wanted to kill her. So that got out there. In the episode titled Choose or Love, Mona has actually worked out that Arya is on the A-Team. When I told you she runs the show, guys, I'm not playing around. I'm not joking. Mona is Pretty Little Liars. Mona ends up telling the girls about it. So they end up confronting her about it, but then Arya like explains what is going on. And in this episode, she ends up not like ending her working with A. I just loved this time on the show. I really, really, really do think she should have been A. I would die on that hill. Jenna Marshall. So Jenna and Noel kind of worked hand in hand most of the time. So Jenna's motive, she worked with Alex because Alex promised her money to get surgery for her eyesight. And that's why she decided to end up working with her to try and get back at the girls. That's kind of it about Jenna, really. Obviously, the blind school, which I talked about, she tried to kill the girls with Noel, but then Noel ended up dead. That's kind of it, really, for Jenna's A. Ren. As you can see here, I've put a question mark by when he started becoming A, because the timeline of Ren, he's not A, I mean working on the A team. The timeline of Ren and Alex meeting is really messed up, and it actually does not make sense. So I can't really pinpoint an exact time he became A because there is no answer. Like, there's no answer to that. But we're alluded to that he apparently started around season 4B, but there's also evidence to counter argue, whatever. So I don't really know the exact time, but I digress. So he started working with Alex Drake. Him and Alex fell in love, and obviously Alex was A, which we'll come on to. And he ended up kind of helping Alex. And for example, when Spencer got shot in the blind house, Ren shot Alex to mimic the gunshot wound that Spencer now has. I'm kind of a fan of Ren actually being the big A. I don't think I would have minded that, and a lot of people disagree with that and say it was quite obvious for Ren to be A, but I kind of like it, and I think it's okay if something is obvious. I think it's fine. It's like the writers apparently didn't make Arya A because it was too obvious. I think it's fine, like, because if something's obvious, it means that you've done something really good in your writing and you've made us connect all of the dots. So I think it's fine to make someone obvious A. I think it's literally just okay. I'm quite a big fan of Ren potentially of being kind of the big A. I like it. Obviously he wasn't the big A, and he was working with Alex, but I don't know, I'm a fan. They've pulled me in. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing really else to do with Ren, really, but he is a diamond now. Alex killed him and made him into a diamond, so that's something, I guess. So then we have Sydney. Sydney was another character who needs to go find a job and find some hobbies. I don't really get Sydney's involvement, really. Sydney was a very irrelevant character for me. Sydney was introduced in season 5 of the show as a new member on the swim team. And she kind of, like, that was it until season 7, really. Like, she made her debut, and that's it. In season 5, in the episode titled Miss Me Times 100, she's revealed to be part of kind of Mona's new A team and was working with people like Jenna and Lucas and things like that. And I think she actually worked with Shauna as well at some point. In the episode titled The Darkest Night, Sydney distracts Mona so that Jenna can escape Bradley so that she can go and kill the liars. I'm not sure what Sydney's motive is at this stage, by the way. In the episode titled Power Play, Sydney's actually revealed to be AD and says that her and Spencer made the board game Liars Torment, that was AD's thing. However, Arya, who is in a car with Sydney when Sydney's revealing this, notices that she's actually communicating with someone because she has an earpiece in her ear, and AD is actually the one who's driving the car. And Sydney says her motive at this stage is because she wants to be on the winning team. Girl, let me print off the job application for you. Do you know what I'm trying to say here? When Alex is revealed as A, Alex says that Sydney was blackmailed into joining the team because Sydney was robbing a bank and she fit the hoodie. She fit the hoodie, everybody. Then we have, hello sister, I've got to go get ready. Mona, that's such a classic Spencer line.
That is such a classic Spencer line.
Alex Drake. So Alex Drake was obviously Spencer's evil British twin. took the game from Cece once Cece had died because she wanted revenge on whoever Cece's killer was. And Alex's whole thing was that she would blackmail the liars and torment the liars. She built a board game to torment the liars into giving them who killed Cece. And Alex, I think, thought it was Arya a lot of the time. But yeah, that was her overall motive. I guess her motive actually holds up, but also what makes her convince one of the girls has something to do with it? Maybe it was like someone else, and it kind of was. It was Mona. There's a really funny scene actually. It's not supposed to be funny because Hannah gets kidnapped, but Alex like makes a hole in the floor and takes Hannah through the hole in the floor. Alex's A also uses emojis rather than text most of the time as well. But Alex worked with Cece, Archer, and Ren as part of her kind of clique, and kind of Mary here and there, but I don't think Mary was like a proper A-team kind of member. But yeah, this A, I think, was more dark than Mona, but less dark than Cece type of A, really. But this A to me felt very rushed. I was very let down with this A reveal. I don't think it had any weight to it, really. I'm on board with it being a twin, and I actually predicted that it was a twin, like literally like 10 episodes or so before they actually revealed it. As soon as Mary Jake was revealed as Spencer's mom, I was like, oh, it's gonna be a twin, isn't it? I don't mind the evil twin concept. I don't mind it, but everything about this reveal was just not good. We never actually saw Alex in a black hood. And as a villain who, like, your whole thing is the black hood, why are we not seeing you in the black hood? Do you know what I mean? The British accent, I'm not shaming Troyan. I think Troyan is an amazing actress, and she, throughout this show, she carried this show. It was, her acting's crazy. But the British accent made it almost, like, comical rather than serious. I think, especially because I'm British as well, it was very comedic to me because, like, that is not a British accent. Do you know what I mean? So it made it a bit less serious. The twin didn't have to be British. The twin could just be American, like Troyan. Like, it's not, you know, whatever. But yeah, I didn't really like this reveal. I was really, really let down with this reveal, and I think there was better options out there. Even if it was Ren, I know the actor was busy, so didn't have the time to do it, which is obviously fine. But I think, I don't know, I think there could have been another route to go down with this reveal. So my favourite A reveal is Mona. Love Mona. I love her to bits. She's my favourite A, like, member. My least favourite is probably, like, Sydney, or like Noel or Sarah, because, like, why are they trying to be involved? Like, the motives are so bad, and it's like, do you really need to be involved in this? You know? That is it for this video. Comment down below your favourite A reveal, whether that's your favourite A overall or the actual reveal. What was your favourite? Because actual reveal wise, I prefer Cece's reveal. But actual A, I prefer Mona, if that makes any sense. But yeah, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys!